There are 3 key components to implementing email deliverability best practices. These include your email reputation, your email list or your database, your marketing or your content and messaging. The first thing is email reputation. As the saying goes, in business, reputation is everything. Well, this holds true when it comes to email deliverability. Your reputation is key, and it's essential to establish and maintain a good email reputation. Things that you should do to ensure a positive email reputation include: know your scores. Just like credit reports in the real world, email reputation scores are indicators of how good or bad your email practices are. For example, if your credit score is 400, then there are most likely a lot of issues affecting your credit worthiness that you need to address. In email, one of the more popular scoring agencies, if you will, is your sender score. The scores are based on a scale of 0 to 100, where 0 is the worst and 100 is the best. Your goal is to have an A rating email score, which is over 90. Anything below that indicates that there is some sort of underlying problem that needs to be addressed and corrected. Next, you need to authenticate your email. This includes publishing SPF records or sender policy framework, along with sender ID, domain keys, and DKIM, which stands for Domain Keys Identified Mail. You may also wish to separate promotional, newsletter, and transactional communications. Next, you need to control your complaints. It's important to pay attention to complaints and adjust your campaigns, sending patterns, and communication style accordingly. You want to establish feedback loops with all of the ISPs that offer them, and then monitor where your complaints are coming from and what types of messages are generating them. Next, you need to avoid blacklists. Stay off blacklists at all costs. There are a number of email blacklists that can impact your deliverability, so you want to scan your IP address or addresses regularly and ensure they are not winding up on any lists. Note that not all email blacklists are created. There are only a handful of blacklists that really have an impact on your email program. Also worth noting, you want to avoid blacklists for both your IPs and your domains. Next, you want to make sure that you're sending only permission-based email. While it may be appealing to purchase a list, borrow a database, or even scrape lists of people that should be ideal prospects for what you have to offer, don't do it. Assuming you have received permission from all of your subscribers, be sure to re-engage inactive contacts by implementing a re-engagement campaign, and eliminate the subscribers who have chosen not to engage with you after 6 months max. Send subscribers only what they've opted in for. I know it's enticing when somebody signs up for your 10-part autoresponder series to automatically dump them into your promotional list, but if they didn't sign up for those types of emails, it's technically not your permission to send to them. Next, include a managed subscription page so that contacts can add and remove themselves from email lists according to their preferences. For example, consider offering a once-a-week digest or downsell as an option when someone unsubscribes from your daily newsletter. You may not be able to send them a message every day, but at least you'll maintain the relationship. Next, we need to talk about managing your email lists. First and foremost, don't buy lists. As we've already mentioned, it's generally a bad idea to buy lists because purchasing an email list virtually guarantees high complaints, and there's a high probability that you're going to hit some spam traps. However, if you do still decide to purchase lists despite this recommendation, then make sure that you know, first and foremost, how the list was acquired and confirm that they even have the right to rent or sell the list. You also want to know the age and the last use of the data and a sample of the last message that was sent out to the subscribers. You want to know how they monitor and maintain their complainers, how they handle bounces, and finally, how they manage the opt-in status of their subscribers. Next, you always want to warm up new IP addresses. If you're planning on really building an email strategy for the long haul, a little bit of patience goes a long way. It's key to warm up your IP addresses and do so the right way. When you're warming up IPs, send to small batches of your most recently engaged subscribers and consistently increase over the next few days and weeks. Tip: avoid or minimize HTML in your emails. Be sure to review after each campaign, remove bad addresses, and monitor complaints to identify potential problems. Be sure to process your bounces. Make sure that you remove hard bounces, generally bad addresses, immediately, and keep these below 2 to 3% of your total campaign. This is why starting with recently engaged subscribers is recommended during the warm-up. You want to monitor bounces and take immediate action on any issues regularly. If necessary, change your email practices accordingly. Also, be sure to focus on engagement. Segment subscribers by both their own stated preferences as well as their actual behavior. In other words, send them the types of emails they've requested and watch their behaviors to confirm that their actual behavior models what they say. If someone hasn't opened a message in 3 to 6 months, roll out a re-engagement campaign. If they don't engage after 5 to 7 attempts, remove them from your list and consider re-engaging them through an offline affiliate campaign instead. Quality over quantity is key. Now I know what you're thinking, but if I keep mailing, then maybe some offer will grab their attention. Well, that may be true, though unlikely. With ISPs using engagement metrics more and more to determine inbox placement, you simply can't afford to employ this tactic anymore. Finally, you need to evaluate your content and messaging. The final piece of the puzzle comes down to content and handling the expectations of your subscribers. So first, set clear expectations. This includes letting them know what to expect from you and when to expect it. It also includes making your privacy policy simple and clear, and of course abiding by it. One of the easiest things that you can do is include a welcome email with what to expect and how to whitelist you to ensure they don't miss anything that they're expecting. Also, be sure to let them know how to update their preferences at any time. In fact, this is a good idea to include in the footer of all of your email messages. Be sure to regularly test content and timing. Email marketing is always changing. What used to work a year ago may no longer be effective today. It's important to test the frequency of your email messages as well as the timing. Also, consider your messaging and stick with what you promised in the beginning. If your business has expanded, then invite subscribers to join additional lists to receive the new type of emails. Review, evaluate, and modify. Watch your bounces on a regular basis to gain more intelligence into your email program, to see what people are responding to, and to find out what's causing people to leave your lists. You want to keep your bad addresses or hard bounces to a minimum less than 3%. And carefully watch soft bounces to remove full mailboxes after a max of 7 attempts and to manage content-related bounces and spam complaints. Speaking of complaints, keep your spam complaints to a minimum. A general rule of thumb is to keep your complaints under 0.01% and to immediately put those complainers on your do not contact list or your suppression list. This ensures that they don't resubscribe and complain again. High complaints will also cause the ISPs to filter your email messages to the junk folder and may make it very difficult to get your campaigns back to the inbox if the problem persists for a long time. Watch unsubscribes regularly to evaluate the types of content that causes spikes in complaint rates, as well as problems with individual campaigns and autoresponder messages. To get access to helpful tools and recommended resources that will help you improve your overall email deliverability, visit www.emaildelivered.com.